kind of want to talk about the Kotaku Nintendo stuff. I don't know if you guys have seen like just the weird stuff going on with this. So the context here is Kotaku got blacklisted from doing advanced coverage of Nintendo games, and after this they then went on to put out an article talking about all the different leaks that came out from the latest Zelda game. Let me see if I have this tweet here. So yeah, I think this guy's the one who wrote it, and he was talking about how it's preview day for Tears of the Kingdom, a huge game I would love for Kotaku to be able to inform its millions of readers about firsthand. But unfortunately, Nintendo still has it blacklisted from advanced coverage, and he argues that it's unprofessional and coercive, which in response to, they then did an article talking about all of the leaks and stuff that came out, which, like, look down here. Hold on, I'm not gonna go down. I don't want to look at any of the spoilers myself. There is like a warning here where they say we'll steer clear of any story info. I don't remember if that was there when I originally first looked at it, but yeah, they basically go over a bunch of the leaks that came out, because I think leaks got out like a couple of weeks early, and then Kotaku have been getting a lot of heat for this article, which it isn't too much of a surprise after this comment. But I mean, Kotaku in general, a lot of people don't like, so I expect people to hate on Kotaku anyway. But it's like, it's a weird situation. I don't know exactly why they got blacklisted. I think I saw some people saying it's because, I don't know when it was, but I think some people said it was because they talked about how to emulate Metroid Fusion on release day, pretty much. I don't know if I can find this article. Let me see if I can find this. Just want to link it down here. Kotaku Metroid Fusion emulation. Let's see if we can find this. Oh, not Metroid Fusion, sorry, Metroid Dread. So, yeah, it was Metroid Dread. I don't know why I said Fusion. My brain. So they brought out this article. I don't know if this was it. I'd say Metroid Dread's probably a good enough reason to blacklist them, because this article is like, hold on, does it actually still link? I think there was an article. Okay, hold on, there's an update. An earlier version of the story was understood by many readers to be a direct suggestion to illegally download this just released game. We regret this interpretation and apologize, as the original article did not meet our editorial standards. So yeah, they let that go through, and listen, Nintendo gets upset easily by stuff like that. I think any game company probably would, reasonably so, be upset that being like, hey, this is how you can emulate a game on release, and then like talking about the emulator and where to get. I don't know if they linked directly to the emulator. I can't remember. I remember seeing this article when it came out and the big controversy around it, but I just don't know if this is where the blacklist has like held from. But again, then talking about all of the leaks, probably not a good move. I think it's okay in general to be like, hey, there's Zelda leaks out there right now, but don't like directly talk about it. I think one of the things he mentions here, how it can be like coercive. There's an element of compromise when it comes to like all these big, you know, gaming websites. They all need to like have some degree of compromise when they want to work with these publishers and developers. They need to offer something about, like, they can't, like, there's certain things you just don't do. The publishers or the devs, they're not going to take it very lightly. Definitely not Nintendo. Nintendo are not the ones you want to do this kind of stuff to. So I just thought it was an interesting thing to see, and I think Kotaku are getting a lot of heat for it, which I think rightfully so. I think in this case, Nintendo are probably in the right to keep them blacklisted from stuff. I think there's something to be said about, hey, you know, I think all of these gaming websites should be able to get coverage and, you know, publish reviews and talk about games, because, you know, it's probably a good thing to have all of these, you know, websites doing it. But I don't know, there's like situations like this where it's probably a situation where, you know, Kotaku probably should have compromised a little, and there's some, if you want to like get back in the good graces, this is probably not the way to go about it. And then something further that I saw was, I think this I saw earlier. Oh yeah, I saw this article come out saying PC gamers get angry at all the wrong people, which probably talking about, you know, stuff with Jedi Survivor and stuff coming out recently, and Redfall, and a lot of people just being upset at the general state of, you know, AAA releases. So this is probably what this is in response to. But the writer, apparently, I like scrolled down a little bit in this tweet, and then this is the writer of the article tweeting this out, being like, for the record, this is how I feel about publisher blacklists, which probably not the kind of stuff you want to be tweeting out. I mean, I get wanting to, you know, post and have a little bit of fun on Twitter, but there is like an element of compromise you need to have when it comes to working with game publishers. Free speech Nintendo is just no. I don't think. I think again, there's like a mutual understanding with these companies where we can talk about, you'll give us review copies or exclusive access, and we'll give fair feedback and talk about the game. I think it is perfectly fair for them to shut people down if they don't like what they're doing. Like again, if they're giving out leaks or telling people to emulate the game, I think that is fair to do. But yeah, no, I think, some people might say like fair speech, look, free speech and all that stuff. I don't think that matters too much. I think in this case, you have to have a certain level of professionalism. You need to and if you want to work with publishers, you have to compromise. They're offering you something, and then you offer something of value to them by, marketing the game in a way. And I think most developers, when they send these out, if they're scoring like bad reviews all around, they're not going to be like, oh, well, we're not going to give reviews, or we're not going to give review codes to these guys again. It's more so a case of like, hey, don't talk about emulating the game. Probably not a good idea to post where he's like, someone quote tweeted his tweet saying, well, because they blacklisted for uploading a step-by-step guide on how to pirate their software on Kotaku, I think we will show Nintendo our staff's maturity by implying we want to kill the ethnically. I don't quite know if that's what he's saying there. I think the intention with this image is just to call them Nazis, which probably not a good thing to do either, especially with a company you probably want to work with and you want to be on, good terms with. Probably not a good idea. Again, this is just like one writer from Kotaku though, but I think you do need to be careful, because again, like if you write for the company, you are part of the image. Where's the actual tweet again? Why does it do this on the side? But yeah, I think these stickers are like supposed to be like kill counts, right? How many Japanese planes they've taken down? Yeah, I think that's what that's supposed to be. But I think he was just trying to call them Nazis, which I don't think it's a case of, hey, I want to kill Japanese publishers. I don't think that's the case. I think it's, hey, yeah, it's a weird one. I just think probably shouldn't be posting stuff like that if you're representing the company. And if I don't see Kotaku getting back in Nintendo's good graces anytime soon. Okay, they might just be permanently blacklisted. Honestly, it's not like a terrible thing. Well, it is pretty bad, but I think, again, with that balance when it comes to like compromising, I think there's a case of when you compromise, you'll get a lot more from the devs and the publishers, but also you get less trust from the people that read your stuff, and there's like a bit of a balancing act there in where you have to kind of meet both sides' expectations. And I think there's always going to be that like idea or conception of review scores being bought or dumb stuff like that, which I don't think is really the case. You could say that maybe having relationships with these companies makes it a little biased, but yeah, I think that's always going to be a conception whenever you have to compromise with companies. So who knows, say, when they talk about stuff from now on, I think people are still going to clown on Kotaku because it's Kotaku, but when they talk about Nintendo games now, it might be a bit biased towards disliking Nintendo now, but I think they can be a bit more candid with how they feel about the game. So their review of Tears of the Kingdom will be interesting to say the least, so I'll have to see how that scores compared to most other review sites. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was an interesting one. I thought it was just kind of wild to say. Be forced to be nice to a company that isn't really journalism anymore. There's a balance. I think there is definitely a balance when it comes to these review sites and getting early access to games. I don't think a lot of these sites do a lot of journalism. I think you do have some people in the industry that do some like big journalism, or like will talk on the inside with employees and try and get ideas of situations. You have a lot of that. Like, I'd rather an honest opinion not. Yeah, that's the thing. I think, again, all of these review sites will have, if they get an early access, they have some sort of relationship or a contact at the publisher who is setting them up with early access. But there's the understanding of they'll get like a fair review. It's not going to be, they're not all going to be fluff pieces. I think they're going to be fairly reviewed for the most part, and as long as it's not like, some crazy article that they write on the game, then I think generally they're okay. It works as like kind of marketing for the game, but also like it's a risk that publishers are okay taking, and there's maybe some websites that aren't super safe, like Kotaku. I think Kotaku, again, they get a lot of hate for mostly, they cover a lot of social politics. I think a lot of, like, they have a mix of social politics and, like, gaming articles, and people don't like social politics being mixed into video game stuff. in general. So Kotaku get a lot of hate for that, and they've also done a lot of dumb articles as well. I feel like Polygon used to have that issue as well, but I feel like I don't hear as much about Polygon anymore. Maybe I'm misremembering. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's an interesting one.